So episode 8 carries on where episode 7 left off. Hinazuki's in the bus and this man is standing outside. He opens the door. Hinazuki hears this and he hears the man come inside. And the whole time I'm watching this, by the way, because there's some really tense music going on, I am shitting my pants because I'm fearing the worst. Turns out nobody else is in there with her, it's just Hinazuki. This guy, he comes in, he throws his backpack down on the floor, and you see his hand come up like this. Hinazuki goes all quiet, like holds a breath like this, going, and the guy just kicks this box out of frustration. And at first I thought he was trying to send a message, trying to scare Hinazuki, but he left and he walked away, and apparently he didn't even know she was in there. It is later stated by Satoru that this bus is actually kind of like the centre of all these murders. This is like his home base kind of thing. So the box that he kicked actually contained all of the murder stuff that he used, which when all the other kids see it, they don't really know what it is. Satoru just says it's kind of like, this looks like pervert bondage stuff, but he knows exactly what each piece of item was used for. He's like, the gloves were used to hide his fingerprints, the boots were used to frame that guy, the spray bottle was used to freeze it quicker, the ropes. Anyway, after he kicks it, he leaves, and then nothing happens after that, so thank God nothing happened. Now, Satoru's just woke up. He gets up early now for school so that he can meet Hinazuki. His mom's already up, made breakfast for him, gives him a little extra meal for him to take to school. She's left him a little note, which is actually for Hinazuki, who he gives the meal to, saying that these are all of Satoru's favourite meals. I hope you enjoy them. So that was nice. It just shows how, like, clever his mom is. Like, there's loads of moments in this where she's got basically a foresight where she's already bought clothes for Hinazuki because she knew something like this may actually happen. She's very clever. Not clever enough to not get stabbed in the first episode, but she's still very clever. She figured out who it was. Now, there's a moment in the episode where Satoru is running to school and this girl walks past. Her tag, like, kind of is, like, focused on, and I didn't really understand at all what that was, but it is revealed later that the next person to be killed is a girl at his school. And I thought it was the girl that has been meeting him in the bus who got murdered next. But apparently it's maybe this girl, the one that ran past. I might have misread that, but you'll have to let me know in the comment section below if that's right. Was that the next girl to get murdered, or is it the girl that was in the bus? Because I wasn't too sure which way it was. So this is where we get more creepy teacher talk. The teacher is talking to Satoru, and Satoru says, have you tried anything, trying to contact her? He says, yeah. The teacher says, I've contacted her house, I contacted the mom's work. The mom seems to be avoiding us. But he says that he's going to try and contact the social services to come down and, like, investigate what's happening. And he's even going to go with them to make sure it gets done properly. Which Satoru's like, thank you, Mr. Teacher, sir. You're such a great guy. And he runs off with a smile on his face. And he runs past the camera. But if you look behind what the camera's focused on, which is Satoru, you can see the teacher in the background. You know when they've got no eyes, when their hair's kind of like down like that, and they've got like a sinister look? I can't not notice that. Because in this series, I still think it is the teacher who is responsible for this. Because I know it's not really obvious at the moment, and it kind of seems obvious to most people, but I think it's just one of them hidden in plain sight kind of things, so I'd be very surprised if it's someone else. Because at this point in the series, are they going to just introduce a new character and say, oh, it was this guy? No one would care about that. It's got to be the person that's been directly linked with everyone. I think for this series, maybe they should have put a few more, like, suspects in it. Because if it turns out to be him, it's quite obvious, but you never know. I still could be wrong. Anyway, Satoru's teacher, he goes to Hinazuki's house and they open up one of the doors and they go inside and all food's there and the heating's still on because Hinazuki's mom must have run off just as he heard they were coming. He says to him, though, that, oh, she doesn't seem to be here, and I'm not too concerned about Hinazuki's safety because I have a rough idea of where she could be. Which made me at first think he knew that she was in the bus, but I think he just knew she would be with Satoru, which, yeah, that's okay. That's fine. When Satoru and Hinazuki are talking as well, it is sort of brought up what would happen if she gets taken away with the child services. Although it would mean a much better life than it means that she wouldn't be able to see everyone, all of her friends again. But she does say that she would be happy with this because she'd always be able to think of them with very fond and kind memories. And this is where she says that, oh, this is a bit overdue, but here's your birthday present. And she gets the gloves that she made for Satoru. We'd seen these gloves being thrown into the garbage by her mom after she got murdered, but this time we get to see them in a nice light. And when he receives these gloves, he gets a bit upset and he starts crying a little bit. But it's what these gloves represent, because they represent, I guess, hope, or in fact, I'd say they represent life. He could only receive this gift if he kept her alive. So it's almost like the goal. If he received this gift, he's kept her alive, and that's his goal done. Obviously, it's not. He's got still a little bit more of a journey to go. But yeah, I like that. It was nice. Now, while they're in this bus together, it is all revealed about this box. What's in the box? This person that came to the bus, and it turns out that that person was the actual killer, who seemed to be. The reason he kicked the box was he was frustrated, maybe, that he couldn't get to Hinazuki and murder her. Possibly. He opens one of the boxes and he says, "Is this the murderer's briquette or brisket?" And I was going to check what that is. Can someone let me know in the comment section below what a brisket or a briquette is? It looked like a food cooker thing. I just wondered if that's what it was. Anyway, they established that this place is not safe anymore because it's basically the centre of the murderer's murder ring. So Satoru decides to take the direct approach and take Hinazuki back to his house, basically saying that, can she stay here because, you know. And Satoru's mom is absolutely okay with this. In fact, she's already made meals for everyone because foresight. Now, something I didn't want to see, his mom contacts the teacher to say that, Hinazuki's here, don't worry, she's fine. We can get through to the child services if you want, so we can sort all this out. And the teacher's like, oh yeah, no problem. And he calls someone else about Hinazuki, and I don't know what that was, so I'm gonna have to see. Hopefully it's not something bad. This was probably the nicest thing in this series I've seen so far. It's basically Hinazuki being in this environment that she's probably never been in her entire life. She's with a loving family, well, not even a loving family, just a normal family, and she gets to see what it's like to be like taken care of and treated as a child, like as a daughter kind of thing. There's also a bit where Satoru says that, I'd love to take you to this mountain top or something because it's got a great view. Satoru's mom's like, you've never been to that mountain top? He's like, oh shit, that's from the future. No. I was just remembering it from like a picture I saw once. Whoops. My favourite bit of the night is Satoru and Hinazuki like sleep in the same bed kind of thing. And Satoru's mom gets up and turns the light off and she goes, good night everyone. And they're like, good night. And he just cuts to it and all three of them in the bed with the mom in the middle. And she goes, am I in the way? And Satoru goes, yes you are. Even though he didn't mean to say that. And he gets on the head, which was really funny. And in the morning there's a really nice scene where Satoru's mom, she's made like breakfast for everyone, and Hinazuki comes over and looks at her food, and she has like these like flashbacks of every single breakfast she's ever had, which was like plain bread, a little cup of soup thing, not even had water in it, like 20 yen or whatever, how much money that was. And then you can see just these tears start pouring out of her face because this is what she's like kind of probably always wished to have, just someone that she can look after her. So this episode kind of ends on that high, and then we get a little scene afterwards where we see that Hinazuki's mom is inside the house. She's smashing up Hinazuki's room because she doesn't like the fact that she's run away, and the door knocks, and it's actually, she can hear that Hinazuki says, Mom, I'm home. She comes running to the door, rips the door open. She goes to slap her, saying that where have you been for these past few days? And obviously Satoru and Satoru's mom come walking towards her, and the episode ends there. That's a good ending for me. This means that they're going to confront her and tell her that you're a shit mom. I'm going to take your daughter away. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully nothing bad, like she doesn't take the kid away or something. So I probably should have suspected something like this was going to happen, since there's like 4. What are we on? Episode 8 now? So we've got 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 4 more episodes of the series. I think there's 12 in this series. So it looks like we've got a few more episodes until the killer is revealed and things are going to start kicking off. So we're looking forward to that. Overall, I thought the episode was okay. Nothing too dramatic happened. It was just kind of a feel-good episode for me. But yeah, overall, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Was there anything in the episode that I missed that was like I should have noticed, and that would have given me some clues about who the killer could have been? What is a brisket or a briquette? Briquette? Yeah, what is one of them? Just let me know below, and thanks for watching. Now, if you enjoyed that review, I've got a whole channel of other reviews you can watch if you're interested in those as well. Just use the link in the description, you can follow them over there.